I am here now. Closer than your breath, closer than your breaking point. You thought no one saw the night. You wrote that letter, the one you never sent, the one you folded with shaking hands, the one that carried more tears than ink. I saw every word, I felt every pause, I heard the silence between each sentence. You wrote it after pretending to be strong all day. After smiling when your heart was splitting, after telling everyone, I'm fine, when you were anything but fine. That letter was not weak, it was holy. It was honest, and heaven does not ignore honest pain. You believed your tears fell to the floor. They did not, they rose. Every tear carried a message, every tear carried your true voice. You tried to hide your longing, you tried to act like you didn't care anymore. But in the quiet, your soul confessed everything. That you still love, you still hope, you still wonder what could have been, and you felt ashamed for that. But listen to me now, love is not something to be ashamed of, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. That letter written in tears has been opened, not by human hands, but by divine ones. The words you thought were wasted are being answered, in the way you expected, but in the way you need. You asked why they left, you asked why they changed, you asked why your loyalty was not returned. The truth is this, you loved from your depth, they loved from their surface. And depth will always feel too intense for someone who is afraid to drown in truth. You were not too much, you were too real. You were not asking for too much, you were asking the wrong person. There is a difference. You replayed conversations in your head, you rewrote endings in your imagination. You wondered if one different sentence could have saved everything. It would not have, because love cannot be forced into someone who is still fighting themselves. They were battling fears you could not see. They were running from wounds you did not cause, and you tried to heal what they refused to face. That is why you are tired. That is why your heart feels older than your years. But hear this clearly, your effort was not wasted. Your love was not foolish. Your tears were not embarrassing. They were proof that your heart is alive. And I would rather guard a heart that feels deeply than one that feels nothing at all. The letter you wrote carried one hidden sentence. I just wanted to be chosen. You never said it that simply, but that was the core. You wanted to be chosen without begging. Chosen without competing. Chosen without proving your worth. That desire is not desperate. It is divine, because you were created to be chosen, not tolerated, not almost loved, not kept as an option. Chosen. The pain you felt was not only about losing them, it was about losing the future you imagined, the mornings you pictured, the peace you hoped for, the safety you thought you found. When that future collapsed, it felt like your whole world ended. But listen carefully, what ended was an illusion. What is coming is real. You have been grieving a version of love that would have required you to shrink, to silence yourself, to accept crumbs and call them a feast, and your soul refused. That is why everything fell apart. It was not punishment, it was protection. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you still think about them. Yes, some nights are heavier than others, but something inside you is changing. You are beginning to see the truth. You gave more than you received. You stayed longer than you should have. You ignored red flags because your heart was loyal. Loyalty is beautiful, but it must be mutual. You are not meant to carry love alone. The letter written in tears has revealed something powerful. You are stronger than the rejection. You survived the silence. You survived the distance. You survived watching them become someone different. And you are still here, still breathing, still capable of loving again. Do not close your heart now. That would let pain win. Instead, refine it. Raise your standards. Raise your boundaries. Raise your understanding of what you deserve. The next love will not feel like confusion. It will not make you question your value. It will not require you to decode mixed signals. It will be clear. It will be clear. It will be calm. It will choose you openly. But before that love arrives, you must fully release this one. Not by pretending you don't care, but by forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for ignoring your intuition. Forgive yourself for holding on too long. Forgive yourself for believing their promises. You did what you thought was right. You loved the best way you knew how. There is no shame in that. Your tears were not a sign of weakness. They were a cleansing. Every tear washed away illusions. Every tear carved space for something truer. Right now, you are in the in-between. Not who you were, not yet who you will become. This space feels lonely, but it is sacred. Because in this space, you are remembering yourself. Your worth was never attached to their ability to see it. Your value was never dependent on their attention. Your beauty did not decrease because they walked away. Sometimes people leave not because you are lacking, but because you are evolving, and they are not ready to grow. The letter you wrote has become a mirror. It shows you how deeply you can feel, how sincerely you can love, how bravely you can hope. Those qualities are rare. Do not let one broken connection convince you otherwise. There is someone praying for a heart like yours, someone who will not be intimidated by your depth, someone who will meet your honesty with honesty. But first, you must believe that such love exists for you. Stop replaying the ending. Start preparing for a new beginning. The love you cried over was a lesson. The love that is coming will be a blessing. You are not behind. You are not foolish. You are not unlovable. You are becoming wiser. You are becoming clearer. You are becoming aligned with something better. Trust this process, even when it feels unfair, even when memories try to pull you back, even when loneliness whispers lies. You are not alone. I've been beside you in every silent breakdown. I have been near you in every unanswered message. I have held your heart when it felt like it would collapse. And I tell you now, the chapter you cried over is closed. Do not reopen it with doubt. Let it rest. Let it teach you. Let it strengthen you. One day you will look back at that letter and smile gently, not because it didn't hurt, but because it led you somewhere better. The tears were not the end of your story. They were the ink rewriting it. You were not losing love. You were being redirected to the kind that stays, the kind that chooses you daily, the kind that does not make you question your place. Hold your heart with patience. Speak to yourself with kindness. And remember this above all: you are deeply loved, even now, especially now. What felt unreal was not the loss. What is unreal is how powerfully your life is about to change. Stay open. Stay faithful. Stay true to the depth within you, because the love that matches your tears is already on its way. And while you wait, do not think you are doing nothing. You are rebuilding. You are resetting your standards in silence. You are learning how to recognize peace instead of chasing intensity. That is growth. Real growth is quiet. It does not announce itself. It happens when you choose not to text them. It happens when you delete the photo instead of staring at it. It happens when you feel the wave of missing them and you let it pass instead of drowning in it. You are stronger than you think. There were nights you thought you would not make it through the ache, yet you did. There were mornings you woke up with heaviness in your chest, yet you got up anyway. That resilience is not small. It is sacred. Do you understand what you survived? You survived loving someone who could not love you back in the same depth. You survived the confusion of mixed signals. You survived the silence that followed promises, and you did not turn bitter. You turned inward. You started questioning your patterns. You started seeing where you overgave. You started noticing how often you ignored your own needs just to keep peace. That awareness is the true revelation. The letter written in tears was not just about them. It was about you finally admitting what you need. You need consistency. You need reassurance. You need honesty without games. You need love that does not disappear when things get uncomfortable. These are not high demands. They are healthy ones. And from this moment forward, you will no longer apologize for them. The next time someone enters your life, you will not chase their potential. You will observe their actions. You will not romanticize their words. You will measure their consistency. You will not ignore red flags and call them challenges. You will call them what they are, and you will walk away sooner if needed. Not because you are cold, but because you are clear. Clarity is a form of self-love. You are learning that love should feel safe, not like a test you are constantly failing, not like a puzzle you are constantly trying to solve. Love should not feel like anxiety. It should not feel like fear of abandonment. It should not feel like proving yourself daily. True love feels steady. It feels warm. It feels mutual. And yes, it exists for you, but you had to release what was unstable first. There is something else you must understand. The person who hurt you may never fully grasp what they lost. They may move on quickly. They may act unaffected. They may never apologize the way you hoped. Do not let that disturb your peace. Closure is not always given. Sometimes it is created. You create closure when you stop waiting for them to validate your pain. You create closure when you accept that their silence is an answer. You create closure when you choose yourself without needing their approval. That is power, and you are stepping into it slowly. You are no longer the version of yourself who begged to be understood. You are becoming the version who understands herself deeply. That shift changes everything. You will start attracting differently. You will start speaking differently. You will start walking into rooms with a quieter confidence, not loud, not arrogant, but grounded. Grounded in the knowledge that you do not need to overextend to be loved. You do not need to compete to be valued. You do not need to shrink to be kept. The tears you cried softened your heart, but strengthened your boundaries. That combination is powerful, soft but strong, loving but wise, open but discerning. This is who you are becoming, and the right person will recognize it immediately. They will not be confused by your depth. They will not be intimidated by your standards. They will not disappear when things become real. They will stay, and when that happens, you will realize something shocking. You will realize the past heartbreak was necessary, because without it, you would have accepted less. Without it, you would not have learned the difference between attention and intention. Without it, you would still be mistaking chaos for passion. Now you know better, and knowing better changes your destiny. Do not rush this season. Do not try to numb it. Feel it fully, but do not live in it forever. Pain is a teacher, not a home. You have learned the lesson. Now prepare for the blessing. There is a shift happening behind the scenes. Conversations you have not heard. Paths aligning in ways you cannot yet see. Moments being arranged. You are closer to a breakthrough than you realize. Not because someone is coming to rescue you, but because you are no longer abandoning yourself. That is the miracle. You chose to stay with yourself when someone else left. You chose to heal instead of harden. You chose reflection instead of revenge. That choice will reward you. The love that is approaching your life will not require a tearful letter. It will not leave you questioning where you stand. It will not vanish in the middle of vulnerability. It will meet you there, and when it does, you will not feel anxious. You will feel calm. You will feel seen. You will feel safe, and you will whisper to yourself, "So this is what I was waiting for." Until then, guard your heart wisely. Not with walls, but with boundaries. Continue becoming the version of yourself that no longer settles. Continue choosing peace over potential. Continue trusting your intuition when it speaks softly. You are not unlucky in love. You were early in your understanding. Now you are aligned. Now you are aware. Now you are ready. The love letter written in tears has done its job. It released what needed to go. It revealed what you truly desire, and it awakened a stronger version of you. This is not the end of your love story. It is the turning point. And I promise you this, what is coming will not break you. It will build with you. Stay patient, stay hopeful, stay open, because the love that matches your depth is no longer far away. Asterisk, and there is one more truth you must hear. The reason this heartbreak felt different is because it touched an old wound. It was not just about this person. It was about every time you felt unseen before. Every time you felt second choice. Every time you felt like you had to earn affection. This love reopened that memory. That is why it cut so deep. But now the wound is exposed, and exposed wounds can finally heal. You are no longer the child waiting to be picked. You are no longer the version of yourself chasing validation. You are becoming someone who validates herself first. That shift changes your entire energy. You will notice it soon. You will stop over-explaining. You will stop over-giving. You will stop trying to convince someone of your worth, because worth does not need convincing. It needs recognition. And if someone cannot recognize it, they are not assigned to you. Understand this clearly. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some come to awaken you. Some come to reflect your patterns. Some come to teach you what you will never accept again. That person was a mirror. They showed you how deeply you can love, but they also showed you how much you were willing to tolerate. Now you know. And knowledge brings freedom. You are free from chasing someone who hesitates. You are free from begging for clarity. You are free from shrinking your expectations. You are stepping into a new chapter where reciprocity is normal, where effort is mutual. Where communication is clear. And when that chapter opens, it will not feel dramatic. It will feel stable at first. Stability may feel unfamiliar. You may mistake calmness for boredom. You may look for chaos, because that is what you are used to. But pause when that happens. Remind yourself that peace is not dull. Peace is healthy. Peace is healthy. Peace is what your nervous system has been craving. The love that is aligned with you will not trigger your fears constantly. It will not disappear. When you express emotion, it will not make you guess. It will reassure you without you having to beg. and you deserve that. You deserve to rest inside. Love, not fight for it. The tears you cried were clearing space. Space for someone who is emotionally available. Space for someone who does not run from depth. Space for someone who sees your loyalty as a gift, not a burden. Do not lose faith now. You are closer than you think. Sometimes, the final heartbreak comes right before the real breakthrough. Sometimes the last lesson feels the heaviest, because it is preparing you for something greater. You are being refined, not rejected, redirected, not abandoned, elevated, not punished. If you could see what is ahead, you would not beg for what is behind. If you could feel the peace that is coming, you would release the past completely. Trust that your tears were not for nothing. Trust that every silent prayer was heard. Trust that love is not finished with you. There is still laughter waiting. There are still soft mornings ahead. There is still a hand that will hold yours without hesitation. And when that moment arrives, you will not need to write a letter in tears. You will speak freely. You will love safely. You will be chosen fully. Until then, continue becoming, continue healing, continue believing that what is meant for you will not require you to suffer for it. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being prepared, and I am guiding you through every step, even now, especially now.